We're back with another Age of Mythology Retold point of view game. Today we're watching Tunison versus Divine. Tunison is playing the Set. Set seems to be one of these OP gods currently. It seems like everyone thinks he's the best, so we're going to watch, obviously, one of the best players play him. Luckily, Tunison doesn't have a king to hide here. If you know, you know. And we'll carry on for this one. So the map is Giza. So if we just have a little look-see at the map, even though we will be watching from Tunison's point of view, it can spawn pretty open. The main gimmick of this map is that there is desert everywhere except for grass on the town centers, and the town centers normally spawn a rhinoceros or two. I'm not sure if it's always two, but it's always a rhino. And then, yeah, if there's any hunt that really spawns, it's here. Or maybe some on the sand as well. Maybe, I don't know the map as well. But we'll see what Tunison decides to go for in the Zeus matchup. Now, Zeus traditionally plays quite aggressive. You want to go in like Athena Hoplites, or go in with Centaurs and Hippias, or something like that. So we will see what Divine as the Zeus likes to do. And we see that currently the like flavor of the month thing is to go Spearman as Set. I even put a video out on it just to see how good it is. And yeah, Set Spearmen were buffed a decent amount from not this latest patch, but the one before. And they took a slight nerf in the last one, even costing a little bit, but and also adjusting some of their stats. But I think they are extremely strong. And I think Centaurs can be a counter to that. So we will kind of see what Divine decides to go for. Bit of scouting on the map, not using the vision early. That's kind of a standard thing that you don't really want to do. I think I did it in my game because I was a set novice. But we do have myth units favor cost less, which is nice. If you want to go in one angle that you can go for, if you're against a Greek, is you can go for a Nubites and go through Nubis instead, especially with that favor trickle. Favor trickle plus myth units are cheaper is nice. So this favor trickle is like half a monument to the soldiers. I believe monument to the soldiers is a 0.0 or 0.1. So yeah, it's getting just, if imagine there was a slightly worse monument to the villagers, like an initial one. That's what it is. So it's definitely worth picking up. It's not a small amount by any means. We do see the priest has managed to avoid the bolt nice and early. That is one thing you do have to worry about. It's nothing you can really play around apart from just putting your priest somewhere where you think that the scout of the other player wouldn't be. And it looks like Tunison thinks that the scout won't go behind his base, which probably won't, to be honest. You'd probably assume he's also shift-clicking them, so he's getting all of them. Also putting his priest right to the back, so if the scout does come past, you would expect that he might not see it. But yeah, you would think that Divine has probably scouted this bit already. If we can go to his point of view, he's already scouted that. So what would be the point in actually going back there? But it looks like Tunison might get unlucky that the scout is going to try and find him. And Anubis is the minor god of choice, so we might be seeing some of those Anubites. Maybe he spotted these relics. Maybe he just wants to go in for the Spearman with the extra poison damage there. That is also just very, very strong. Or when I was casting with Soup, he just said, it looks nice, so it feels good, the extra poison damage, which I kind of do agree. I don't know how much it actually does compared to just going through Ptah, getting shifting sands and all those kind of things, rather than getting the poison damage. But the poison damage looks cool. And cavalry hit points plus 10%, that's good for heroic age. All Migdal units are good. Obviously, all of these relics are also good for the Zeus. So there's some actually really, really good relics that people might want to steal away in this one. The villagers split, so there's no second town center coming in, or not what you'd expect. It's also a very late advanced, or not very late, but it's a 4:30 towards the later side of your standard advanced time. So a more eco-heavy kind of build. Obviously, we had the early pickaxe, kind of standard at this point. Only one monument down also, and going in with triple barracks on the monument to the villagers. Here, Tunison placed this monument to the villagers nice and early, knowing where he wanted his barracks to be. He's also getting the market and armory up. You might as well do this, even if you're not going to the third age, just do it. You see how long it takes. One villager is absolutely fine to be able to do that. And yeah, surprised or not, it looks like Divine has now spotted that the zebras are being taken. You just need to shoot this one. You can see by the little circle around it that this is the one that's being taken. The priest just needs to go for it. And it looks like we do have a serpents being dropped down, which will scare the villagers off potentially, or just waste some of their time. That's kind of the serpent's game plan, is just waste some time. They do go down reasonably quickly, but if any other units that aren't a villager come through, they do decent damage, but they just have a huge negative multiplier against villagers. So we can see he's just wasting quite a lot of time. The priest's trying to take one out. Fortunately, you can't control the serpents, but this is forcing the Zeus player to not have hunt for quite a long time, even forcing this one back here. So Plague of Serpents definitely done its job. We do see the Market Armory coming up. We do see Serpent Spear, poison damage, and then the Spearman coming in. Priest also lives with his life and can pick up these. That one's not very good, but can pick up the other relics, and he'll be happy there. So it's looking like Spearman raids off of a nice eco start. We're also getting Necropolis in. Maybe it's even worth it with only one monument. Grab this guy as well. Got to go for it. I think relics are something where not all players value it as much as maybe they should, including me. When I'm watching them, I'm like, how can you not grab this relic? And then when I'm playing, I'll notice a really cool relic, and I'll be like, oh yeah, myth unit cost, definitely got to grab that, and then you just completely forget about it. See what the priest does though. Got to be grabbing something. And here we go. Spearman raids on the way. They've got their poison damage. Very good idea to split them up if you want to go that way. It takes a lot more APM and a lot more control, but if you can do that, it's definitely worth it. Looks like he's trying to snipe the Catascopus, get rid of some of the line of sight of the Zeus player. Nicely done. You see the hyena of Set just chilling down here. Extra priests coming out. We did see that centaurs are a possibility for the Zeus. That is what he decided to go for. I think it makes sense. How the kind of game goes for them is if they get centaurs out and Hippias, the spearmen counter the Hippias, but then the centaurs counter the spearmen, especially if you can get a decent amount of them out. And we have spotted earlier that Divine did go for a second town center. So the answer to that is, if you're staying in the classical age, you just want to rush down as many spearmen as possible and get some good raids going. And here we go, poison damage forcing out the ceasefire. Now, new interaction with ceasefire is this poison damage doesn't carry on, it just stops. I don't know if that would have killed. The poison isn't that much, but still, it's a little bit more that Divine gets away with there. And that's a very good usage of ceasefire. A lot of players would have used it way too late, but that was a very quick preemptive ceasefire. So props to that one. So this town center down here, nice use of the vision. We have seen that the rhinos have both been used up. So staying on this hunt is a great idea. Divine still does have all his food sources left in his base. He's still got his berries. He's still got his chickens. So he can get up to the heroic age off of those if he wants to, or build a decent army, whatever he decides to do. He's absolutely fine staying in his base. And then the wood line is really defensive here, so he can start to build farms off of it. So he doesn't need that food, but it would be nice to have. Centaur's getting a decent amount of damage, but the speed of the spearmen, absolutely fine to dodge those as long as they're not fighting. Does lose one, but only centaur that we've seen so far. So maybe it'd be worth getting a couple of priests out to deal with that. And we absolutely do see the priests. I think priests now have a bit more range that he's converting, but the priests now do have a slightly bit more range in the classical age. So 14 range on that. We do see a huge spearman raid on the town center, actually, and trying to snipe so many villagers retreating. And this is what I mean about the poison. It looks like it does a lot, but actually it doesn't do as much as maybe some of the other poison damages in the game. But spearmen, they are decent at actually taking out buildings. They do a decent amount of damage. They do, what's that, 7.7 a hit, and you've got 24 of them. That town center will go down. And the town centers, if he got that up straight away, well, that's about 5 minutes of a town center. Not really where you'd want to be, but not too many villagers went down. So Divine would still have the villager advantage. Obviously, we can see it, but even playing this game, you would know that he still has the villager advantage. But you've got an absolutely huge army of just spearmen, and that is it. What can you do with it? Nice obelisk placement here. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get this hunt, but The vision doesn't either. We can see the base though. Medium hoplites, centaur hallmark upgrade, and a healthy number of priests. So whether or not he wants to go in or not. Looks like Nephthys is the call. It is a little bit away. Especially because he's going to need another gold mine. I don't think he'll quite have the gold unless he just sells a bit of wood. Probably will. Probably will. He'll do. Or maybe he does have the gold. Just about. Just about has the gold to get to Nephthys. And potentially some sort of ancestors push going in. Could be an option. Also just getting out a couple of Scorpion men. Very, very strong. Still only on one monument though, which is quite surprising. Do see the copper armor, copper weapons coming in. And then a nice gold mine that you can just go onto. Has all the map pressure in the world with all these spearmen and the obelisks coming up as well. So not a problem in that regard. And then basically using vision on cooldown to see what is happening. Divine doesn't have any armory upgrades yet. Does have medium hoplites. So the medium hoplites 1v1 definitely win this fight. Priest is trying to get away. Has managed to. Also getting signal fires. I love that call. The obelisks just get slightly... Oh, he's decided against it. Maybe he needs that wood for something else. But I do really like that call. It is 150 wood. Maybe it is a little bit much. But it means that the radius goes from where it is now to probably just being able to see that granary. And then obviously on every obelisk. Very, 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 very useful. Do you see immediate Nebty, which is extra bonus hit points and damage on your Pharaoh and Priest are very, very strong against these centaurs, hydras, everything that Zeus wants to bring. Extra hydras coming out also. Looks like the comp for Divine is hoplites, toxotes, and myth units. So what is the answer from Set? Is the answer from Set more spearmen? Or is it going into chariot archers? We will figure that out. But, I mean, the classic choice should probably be chariot archers. It does make a lot of sense. And we're also seeing funeral rites, which gives you 8 gold when these very, very cheap units die. These have used their special. You could just bum rush them and hope to get some damage done. Looks like the priests are trying to sneak around. But special backup. Great idea anyway to have priests in your army against even just a couple of centaurs, because you can heal up the small amounts of burst damage that those things do. It's on such a short cooldown as well. Controlling the army pretty well. More priests, not going in for more spearmen. Buff them up to heavy spearmen. It's going to have a look, see what he can do. Ancestors can be used at any point. There is a bronze coming up, and those centaurs will be very tanky with the bronze. But yeah, great placement with those priests. The divine damage priests. Chariots are now coming in. Nice to see it. Axemen as well. So a bit of variation. Not just going pure spearmen. And wanting to get some upgrades in before he fights. It's an interesting position to be in because it's kind of like a one town center game now, but Divine just got a bit of a boost with that 2 town centers, but has also lost a decent amount. So it feels like, so score wise, it looks like Divine's ahead. I'd say it's pretty even, to be honest. I mean, we're like 13 villagers behind, but I've done so much economic damage. And also all the extra resources that he'd actually put into going down here and all the walking time. I'd say it's just a pretty even game right now. Not a massive advantage for getting that second town center. Although it looks like tech-wise, Divine has heavy infantry, heavy archers, doesn't have any, and now is getting his armory upgrades too. So I think Tunison needs to probably go for some kind of aggression before those armory upgrades come in. Maybe he wants to get his own bronze ones up. Also, sitting on the one town center, he is 175 or 175 pop. This could probably use a wall. You can use the pyramids as a wall, actually, which can be really, really good. Oh, getting caught out by the centaurs. Is he going to be able to get a decent amount of poison damage off? Probably not. Just, oh, so much damage from those volleys. But he has seen that the Zeus is in 2 places at once, which means that a small amount of Spearman raids can be very, very strong. If you just grab like 6 or 7 of those, send them to each place, keep your army together, the rest of your army together, kind of baiting the rest of them, you could get some really nice damage coming across. But it looks like Horus might be coming in a small amount of time. If he cancels his units, he could be there soon. Getting a town center mainly just for the extra population. The villagers, it will obviously help the villagers. So doesn't like his position down here, so actually moving them up. I was thinking, wonder if I lost that one, but no, just trying to move them up. Doesn't want a big army to come over there and push him off. And obviously Divine does spot that with his Pegasus. Could probably cancel these units to actually get the gold. So Fortress trying to go up. Nice use of some minions there. Seeing with the vision that there just aren't many units about. So hopefully that could deny the Fortress if we're playing from Tunison's perspective. It's going to be very, very close. 5 seconds left on it. Most of the villagers will go down, even if this doesn't go up. Oh, it's going to be so close. 6 seconds left on it with that one villager. And we'll basically lose all the resources for it if the minions want to carry on. But they want to get a little bit of damage off onto the army, or at least distract them, while the Spearman raid's coming in here. But the Centaurs have scared them off. Managed to get another gold mine up here. Still half left in this one, but another Migdal stronghold or a wall would come in very handy, especially against these Centaur raids. You don't even need the Migdal if it's just the Centaurs. You just put a wall over here. I mean, it's quite expensive, but you put some walls down and you'll be absolutely fine. From the old game, that is definitely something that we saw, because it was just Centaurs. You didn't see the hoplites with it very often. You didn't see the Hippias with it. It was literally just Centaurs. You just wall them up and they can't really get through. We do see Horus coming in. So from what started off as quite an aggressive, classical, full Spearman army, has quickly adapted into just sitting back, not losing too much, trying to get some raids off, and then going in through Horus to get to the Mythic Age. So there is an attempt of getting some stone walls up, but unfortunately they are lost. Spearman coming over here. That fortress will die very, very quickly. And then just doesn't want to lose that fight over there. So Fortress will go down. I mean, he can try and repair it, but there's only 4 villagers. There's no chance that that's going to go off there. Fortress down, 4 villagers down. What do you see with that last vision, actually, that Divine got his town centre back as well? Also trying to get this one. Ceasefire number 2. So that is ceasefire for 75 favour, which is quite a lot. And we do see that this won't be finished in time. So it's got 26 seconds left. There's 20 seconds left on the ceasefire. So he needs to bring more villagers over. Or at least enough army to scare away this army. And the tornado. Perfect timing. Nice split attempt. But a decent amount of units go down. And that means that Tunison will be able to win this fight whenever the ceasefire finishes, which is right now. And it even splits off the remainder of this army as well. Even though it didn't do the damage to them, it split them off. And that just makes Tunison win this fight wholeheartedly. And then, I mean, then the town center, you just get that one down. So yeah, really, really different kind of style with, I mean, obviously going in with this Spearman early, but then just adapting it into something quite different. I wanted to look at this. See how many resources there were. See if the resources collected. Yeah, it's a moose in the purple. So it still does say this. Was quite far ahead, but it didn't matter. And I'll see you in the next one.